Welcome to the Logistics Point interviews, joined by James Summers from Conker, and we're going to talk about hardware devices, different challenges, opportunities, as well as where the market is heading. So what are the most common challenges when it comes to hardware and creating an efficient operations?
The first thing that really comes up, certainly when people are speaking to us, is software compatibility. And then particularly integration with the barcode scanning. For some people, depending on their software, this can be something that, just works very easily and out of the box, everything's working. But interestingly, the big piece that we see that sometimes is sort of overlooked is the user adoption piece. If people are making a change in the hardware that they're using, it's really critical that the users buy into that, that the users find that easy, and that they feel that it's going to improve their workflow. It's rare, but we have seen some situations where management see that a larger device would be better for certain reasons, but actually users wanted a smaller device, or vice versa, depending on a whole range of factors.
And is this where we should start when looking into devices, the user, and then actually software and how it looks and all of these things?
So I think it should be worked backwards from an efficiency with the people using the technology. But of course, the technology focus is always on the tech. It's always on, what's the most efficient software? What's the most efficient device? Does it have the right amount of memory? So I think we like to put ourselves in a mode of thinking around the technology, but the user piece is important. They have to work together, of course.
And you also mentioned software versus hardware. Which do you think should come?
I do favor coming from the human perspective, but ultimately it's looking at the workflow as an overall piece, rather than a solely technology function. Technology has to meet the needs of the environment and the situation, and that's what's changing rapidly in the current market, current economy.
How can we evaluate the return of investment of such devices?
Really, we should be looking at whether the worker is more productive. To me, that's really what it boils down to. And thankfully, a lot of the software that's in place in the market now has built-in ways of evaluating that. Really, everybody wants to know not just if they've solved the problem, but if it's improving productivity. But we'll often say to people, have you got a measure of, let's say how good your best picker is? Okay, give the technology to that guy or lady and see what the impact is for that person.
And what happens when things do not go according to plan? Does this mean that companies need to start from scratch again?
Well, sadly, we do speak to a lot of customers that are replacing solutions that were not fit for purpose. That's certainly more likely to arise when they've bought a technology solution solely for technology's sake and not thought about the overall solution and particularly the user adoption and fully tested it. As projects take a long time to roll out, changeover in staff within the business responsible for delivering that project, that's often one of the biggest issues we see, actually.
Speaking about the future, where do you think the market is heading to at the moment?
Particularly this year, we're seeing major growth in the interest in automation and in robotics. That's not always possible to just say, let's add automation or add robots. And so where it's not possible, I think better management is a key piece. I think this year has been the awakening of data needing to be at the heart of everything, no matter how simplistic some people's operations are. Having data on that and mining people's own data, people are really starting to wake up to the value of that. Otherwise, they feel they're flying blind. And the final trend is in wearables. If people are at the heart of the operation, having a device more at the heart of the worker by it being a wearable device, again, is just seeing a massive potential boost to productivity. But I think wearables is going to be really the new normal in a lot of logistics operations compared to handheld devices that we've had in the past.